Thank you so much, Jeff. Awesome. So I just have to share with you guys, this is not in my notes. My husband just sent me, I'll show you a picture. Come see me at the table afterwards. This is my son. He's going to turn a year on the 26th. And it's one of those black and white boards that says, good luck, mommy. So that's so sweet to start out. So if you want to see that picture, come visit me at the table afterwards. I am Suzy Simonson. I am so thankful to be here with you. I want to thank AGC and Travis for having me, and then also to thank you guys for being a part of my dream come true. Literally, when I was 12 years old, I had a dream that I would speak in front of thousands of people. I had no clue how it would happen or when it would happen, and I didn't know that it would take a stroke to get me there. So I get to share with you my story and encourage you to be exactly who your world needs you to be. So if you do not show up, if you shrink back, your world will go without. So if you can imagine working 100 hours a week. Imagine building a website on your own. Imagine not listening to your body every single day for 3 months straight, getting migraines that are debilitating, so you can't work, so you medicate every day for 3 months straight. Imagine listening to a whisper of your soul and your gut telling you to slow down, telling you to stop, and you ignore it. That was my life. I worked 4 jobs. I worked 100 hours a week. I got 4 hours of sleep. I was taking little energy shots that got me through the day that I have not had since. I had migraines every single day. I was medicating over the counter, and I would take pills all throughout the day. My body stopped. So now I want you to imagine that your toes start to tingle. Your fingertips start to tingle. It moves to your knee, just on one side, moves to your elbow, and you know that soon you're not going to be able to speak. This happened to me on September 25th of 2010. That is me. On the left, I had a stroke. My body told me to stop and I ignored it. My gut told me to stop and I ignored it. And so my body stopped for me. So I want to encourage you, working 100 hours a week is not a badge of honor. I promise you, it is not a badge of honor. It's one of the things that got me to this stroke, is that I was overworked, I was overdone, I didn't listen to my gut, I didn't show up for my world. I thought that I was, but I wasn't. So I want you guys to see that picture and to see the girl on the left and to be able to say, what is my gut telling me? I want to encourage you to be exactly who your world needs, not who you think you should be. Don't shit on yourself. There's none of that. Don't shit on yourself. If you feel like you should be doing something, what is stopping you? What is holding you back? What is keeping you in a place that is not safe for you? Listen to your gut. So this was me on the morning of September 25th. I had gotten 4 hours of sleep. I did a photo shoot. I was a professional photographer, did a photo shoot for a family who lived in China. They were home. It was the only day that they could do a shoot. I am not a morning person. I got up in the morning, I did that, and then I had a wedding that I shot that day. This was, my mom and I were photographers together. This was the one and only day in 12 years that we were double booked. So she was shooting a wedding with a friend, and I was shooting a wedding with a friend. And if my mom had been there on that day, she would have gone into mom mode and we wouldn't have finished the wedding. So every single thing in my stroke happened for a reason. It happened exactly how it was supposed to so that I could get the best from it. But this is me in the hospital not being able to speak. I had the mindset of a newborn. I now have an almost year-old boy, but being able to know what he's thinking, I was 28 years old with the mindset of a newborn. because I was doing things that I was not meant to do. I was being things that I was not meant to be. So I was taking up space that wasn't mine to take up. So I want to give you an easy structure to be able to know what your purpose is and how to pursue your purpose. I love easy things. Things have to be easy, otherwise I really don't do them. So, which is not so fun. But here, I want you to think of 3 words. So if you have a pen and paper, if you want to write this down, you can feel free to write it down or just remember it. What are 3 words that describe who you are? How would you describe yourself to someone in 3 words that literally are who you are? Okay? Then I want you to describe 3 words about your business. So it can be your business that you're in right now. It can be a business that you want it to be. Whatever that is, 3 words to describe who you are first. It always is about who you are. Always. Then 3 words to describe your current business if you love what you do and you are doing exactly what your world needs, or if what you want to do, okay? So with that, that's how you decide what you pursue. Does it line up with those 6 words? If it doesn't, you say no. No is a complete sentence. You can say, nope, that's not for me, and then stay in your lane, so that you can go and be exactly who your world needs. And the reason that I say exactly who your world needs is because it's not the world. So many times we think in these huge places, but it's your world. If you shrink back from who you're meant to be, your world will go without. And I want to show you, that is my brother. A little thing, he is struggling with lymphoma right now. He is fighting an amazing battle, but he was there for me. I couldn't speak, and he was there for me. He was my cheerleader. He was my rock. He was my funny. My sister is right next to me. She was my sass. She brought me back to who I was. They both believed that I would still come back. My parents believed that I would still come back. They each were exactly what I needed, and I didn't have to ask them to be that. I didn't have to tell them who I needed in my life. They just stepped up to be who they're meant to be. And I didn't go without. I am where I am today because they stepped up. So if you think of that, when you shrink back from what you are meant to do, you are not just affecting yourself. You're affecting the world around you. You're affecting the people around you and what they could do. So anytime that you feel scared, that you feel afraid, that you feel like you're not enough, that you feel any of the I am nots, know that you are. And you can step into that. And if you need to start for someone else, that's okay. It's okay to start for someone else. I literally fought for my life for my brother because I knew he wouldn't be able to handle me gone. I fought for him. He was who my world needed. So, and that's a little picture of me with the stroke that I didn't want to eat the hospital food, but I had to go home. So, a little bit of sassiness. This is my family. To the left, it's all of us growing up in Hibbing. To the right, it's our almost complete family now. But show up in your gifts. We're given our gifts for a reason, and we are exactly who we are for a reason. It's not to be somebody else. It's not to compare yourself to somebody else. Also, show up. You guys all showed up here tonight. One way that you can tell that you are showing up to be exactly who your world needs is, so before I speak anywhere, before I go anywhere, before I leave my house, and sometimes even in the morning, not all the times, because again, I'm not a morning person, but I ask, what does my world need today? What does my husband need today? What does my son need today? What does my business need today? Who do my friends need today? Who here, I believe, I can tell you with everything in me that I believe that I am exactly here this time, this day, for a reason, and I'm so excited to find out what that is. So when you think about life that way, when you think about your days that way, I almost lost my life. When you think about your days in, who can I come in contact with? What is it going to be? How can I be exactly what they need and believe that they are exactly what I need? That it's a cyclical thing. It's not just me and it's not just them, but it's a cyclical thing. So if you shrink back, your world will go without. Here are 3 ways that you can be exactly what your world needs. Your mindset. Every single thing starts and ends with your mindset. 100%. So I drive like a great grandma, and if my husband was here, he would tell you that it's the truth. Not a grandma, a great grandma. So white knuckle, I hate driving. He typically is my chauffeur, all of that. I heard once that what you say is true, and then also that our subconscious does not hear the negative. And so I would always see a cop behind me and I'd be like, don't pull me over, don't pull me over, don't pull me over. And I would get pulled over. And so I'm like, I wasn't even speeding. Like I drive like a great grandma, but that's probably why I got pulled over. So I decided to change my mindset and to say, I will get home quickly and safely. I will get home quickly and safely. And I have not gotten pulled over in 5.5 years. For real. Like mindset, it is about who you say you are matters and what you say about your circumstance matters. And I would love to talk to you more about that. So what we need next is your approach. How do you approach yourself? How do you approach people that you see and that you meet? How do you approach yourself in the morning? Our morning, we get a new day every single day. We have a new chance. How do you approach yourself in the morning? What do you say? Do you have this day? Is this something that what good are you going to do today? So how do you approach yourself? How do you approach the people that you talk to? Do you look people in the eye? Do you smile? Do you give them a hug or now an elbow bump? Because, we all know what's going on. So how do you approach people? How do you approach yourself? And then also your soul. I have learned that your soul is your heart and your gut. Your heart and your gut know before your brain understands what's going on. So where is your mindset? How do you approach yourself and the people in your life? And what is your soul saying? How can you listen to your soul today? How can you listen and say, okay, I'm going to move forward in that. I'm going to go do that. What if it's at Target and your gut says, smile at that person, smile at that person, smile at that person? What if your smile could make their day? What if your looking down could make them stay in the place that they're at? Right? Like how can we step into who we're meant to be for ourselves and the people around us? So that is the 3 ways. So pay attention to your mindset, your approach, and your soul. And so Better Together is my company with my husband, and that is our sweet little boy, Knox. But we get to draw out your confidence, your strength, and your determination to be who you're meant to be. It's not about the shoulding. It's not about, even my husband and I, we even say, if we're saying you should do this, you guys can steal this if you want to. We'll look at each other and be like, don't should on me. Don't should on me. And so just being able to know that you are exactly who your world needs. We're each given gifts, we're given talents, we're given abilities to step into them and to be that, because when you don't, your world goes without. And that to me is enough to get me to move. That to me is enough to get me to get out of my own way, to get over myself, even though sometimes it's really hard. And to do the things that I am meant to do, to stand in the place that I am meant to stand in. because my world needs me. Not just the world, but my world needs me. And your world needs you. So thank you for today. If you want to talk at all about the stroke, at all about anything that we do, I would love to connect with you. But just always remember, if you take away anything, know that if you don't step in, if there's something in you to think it, there's a way to do it. So do it. You're exactly who your world needs.